What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how I analyzed EURCAD and Usoil last week. I was not able to upload on my YouTube posts or also make any video last week. It was because I was preparing to come back to school. So with that said, let's get to the video. I was able to cash this EURCAD trade, and also I also traded Usoil. So this one I went to the weekly time frame. The reason for that is because if I go to the 4-hour time frame, in the 4-hour time frame, you are going to notice that there's no chart here for me to actually make a reference to where price has gotten to. Okay, that was the reason why I went to the weekly time frame. Now, in the weekly time frame, what I did here is very simple. I just observed that price has gotten to a weekly resistance zone, right? And we all know that the higher the time frame, the stronger the impact is going to be. So after price getting to that weekly time frame, and then I'm actually having this weak rejection. Let me go back to the 4-hour time frame, and then I'm actually having this weak rejection here. So all I'm looking out for now, all I was waiting for was for my entry model. Okay, so I went to the 30 minutes time frame first. Now first off, check the 3-hour time frame. It's not visible in the 3-hour time frame. So I went to the 2-hour time frame. Now in the 2-hour time frame, the POI is visible, but everything else is not visible. So I went to 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, the market structure shift is visible, but the inducement is not yet visible. So I went to the 45 minutes time frame. Now this horizontal line you are seeing is the weekly resistance zone that price tap into, which is the weekly. I just put it weekly, like for you to be able to understand it, right? So as price tap into this weekly resistance zone, and remember that the overall direction of the market is still a bullish market, right? So when I make a video on directional bias, I explain external and internal structures, right? So since the overall direction of the market is still a bullish market, and then price actually tapped in a weekly resistance zone, there's definitely going to be a pullback in order for price to align with the overall trend, right? So that pullback, if you go down to the lower time frame, you are going to see market structure shift, which means you will be selling the market while the overall direction of the market is still bullish. Okay, now the take profit for that your sell or that your buy that you are doing against the overall market direction is going to be at a very close liquidity zone to the point to where you are buying or selling from, which is this recent low here. This recent low is the nearest liquidity zone. Okay, another thing I want to point out is some people make this mistake because some people send me their chart, even with some of the people that I've been able to teach. The points that made the market structure shift or break of structure, that is not the point of interest. Okay, so let's say price does something like this, or something like this, right? Just like the way it is there, or something like this. This is a market structure shift, right? Then we have the inducement here, and then confirm our inducement, we have this break of structure. Now most people make this mistake thinking that this point at which market actually create a market structure shift or a break of structure, they think that this is the point of interest that they're expecting price to come and sell from. But that is not the point of interest. That is the market structure shift or break of structure. The candle, which means the POI before this market structure shift, is your point of interest. Okay, so in this scenario, let me use this one to explain it. You see that we have a market structure shift here, right? So in this case, you can notice that there is an order block before this market structure shift. So this is the market structure shift, while this is the POI that triggered the market structure shift. In this case, an order block. You know that we have 4 rules of picking our point of interest. I've also talked about them. 4 rules of picking our point of interest. And then one of them says that it has to trigger a market structure shift or a break of structure. So this is the point of interest that triggered the market structure shift. The only way you are going to take trade like this, it's going to be if price does something like this, right? Let's say market does something like this. Let's say price create something like this. Okay, market creates another thing like this. Market does something like this. Coming, and then we have something like that. Okay, I'm coming. Let me just pick my path. Let me draw it where. Let me pick my path to be able to draw it where. Okay, I'm coming. Here's this part. Okay. So let's say price, we have something like this. I have something like this, right? And then we have a market structure shift. In this scenario, you can be okay. We have our inducement here like this, and then we confirm our inducement. In this scenario, this is the point of interest, which in this case is going to be a breaker block. This is a point of interest that triggered this market structure shift or a break of structure. So you can buy, you can sell the market when price gets here. You can sell it down. Okay. So this point is not your point of interest. No, that is the market structure shift or the break of structure. I hope you understand. So that was how I was able to cash this trade. That was how I was able to cash this particular trade. I'm going to go to my chart and show you the before of this trade, but before that, let me go to the 2-hour time frame. Now in the 2-hour time frame, the market actually hit my stop loss after this sell, because I was expecting to buy the market from this particular order block. Since we are in an uptrend, I was expecting to buy the market from here, and we have this inducement, and then we confirm our inducement. This guy here, which is this order block, triggered this in this time frame, a market structure shift in this particular time frame, right? So I was expecting to buy the market from here, but the market actually hit my stop loss. Now immediately price hit my stop loss, I was now looking for a sell position around this particular zone. Okay, so let's actually so this is the trade for EURCAD. So let me show you the one for the EURCAD. I think I have it here in my group. This one will be very far because I took this trade since last week, so I'm just going to show you the before of that particular trade. I'm coming for that particular trade. Okay, I think it should be closed now. Before, okay, this is it. So this is it. You can see we have the market structure shift, the inducement that I was expecting price to drop. And then for US oil, US oil, US oil. Now let me first go to the 3-hour time frame. Now I was expecting to sell US oil from here. I have my sell position around this zone. I was expecting US oil to come tap me in and then create a new lower low since the overall direction is a downtrend, right? But then price actually missed my entry, my sell entry. Price missed it, and then we have this before that drop. Okay. Now after that drop, I went to 4 hour time frame using 4 hour. Let me check daily. Okay, I observed that price has actually tapped into this support level in the daily time frame. So what I'm looking out for now is for the market structure shift so that I can enter the market for a buying position, right? So here I saw the market structure shift. Maybe I'll need to go lower to the, let me say, 15-minute time frame. Yeah, 15-minute time frame. Okay, so you can see what I just talked about in that um, EURCAD. You see that this breaker block is here before this market structure shift. You get, so this point here is not your point of interest. This one inside is your point of interest. You get, so let me go back to the 2 hour time frame. Then for the liquidity, which is the inducement, is this first pullback that we have in the chart, and then confirming the pullback as our inducement, we have this break of structure. And I also say that the inducement can be in one single week, but you just have to know the rules that make an inducement an inducement. Okay, you need to understand what make a valid pullback an inducement. Yes. So I took my buy position from here, and you can see that the take profit for this buy position, because I'm expecting price to drop for it from this particular zone. Okay, the take profit is at this level, which is this reset high, right? Now, since price missed my first entry, if market is going to come back to this zone, I will not take it directly. I'm going to wait to see my structure again, and then I enter for a sell. Okay, so that's just the short video on how I traded EURCAD and US oil. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you do, please do well to subscribe and share this video so that more people can get this knowledge and they can actually be able to understand the market. And if you also watch the video to this end, please comment down in the comment section. Comment down that you watch it to the end so that I will know people that are watching the video to the very end.